Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2013 Week 4 CFL preview between the Montreal Alouettes and the Calgary Stampeders. So let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Alouettes.
Right now, the Alouettes are struggling offensively. They can't put the football in the end zone, and a lot of it can be attributed to their future Hall of Fame quarterback, Anthony Calvillo. A lot of times, people want to point at the offensive line. He's getting sacked. They're one of the worst teams in the league as far as protecting the quarterback is concerned, but a lot of it is due to the fact that Calvillo holds the football entirely too long, and they're not doing enough to help him out by getting the running game going. There's a stable of backs at his disposal that they can utilize to help alleviate some of that pressure. Now, moving on to the defense, when you look at what they're doing defensively, they're applying pressure via the blitz, and they have guys that can get it done. John Bowman is always in the backfield. Kyrese Hebert is a terror on those A-gap blitzes. And that's what they're going to have to do this week versus the Stampeders, whom they played last week. You got to stay aggressive, but you can't lose contain, because we know Kevin Glenn can extend the play with his legs, and if they get out of position, he can make them pay. Now let's move over to the Stampeders in this ball game. You have to be impressed with what you saw last week from Brad Sinopoli, the former quarterback, doing a great job catching the football and making plays after the catch. Easily made the transition from QB to wide receiver. Now, expanding the offense, anytime you face the same team in subsequent weeks, you're going to have to do something just a little bit different in your offensive game plan. That's why John Cornish, while he's their biggest asset, he can also be their biggest decoy. And I would also move the pocket a little bit for Kevin Glenn, get him from different launch pad spots to throw the football, and that way they can have some success versus that blitz pressure coming from the Montreal Alouettes. Now, defensively, you saw their defensive line and what it can do each and every week. You see Charleston Hughes did a great job last week putting Calvillo on the ground, and this time you got to still be active at the line of scrimmage. Like I said before, Calvillo throws a lot of flat line passes. You have a lot of opportunity for tip balls, and that right there could result in turnovers or at least an incomplete pass and you get them off the field. The X factor in this game for the Alouettes will be the offensive play calling coming from the sideline. The way you help a struggling quarterback, you help him out by calling a good sequence of plays to get him in a groove. Now, the X factor for the Stampeders will be that offensive line. Quite honest, they took a beating last week from the blitz from Montreal. You got to move the pocket a little bit. They're going to have to protect those A-gaps a lot better this time around. Otherwise, they could struggle and lose the ball game. I like the Stampeders in this ball game. They did a great job going out to Montreal, which is a tough place to play in McGill Stadium. Got a victory. Now they get the same team on their home turf. This is going to be a great game, one of the better games this weekend, but I do believe they have enough offensively. There are multiple in their offensive attack to be victorious. And I want to give a huge shout out to Alouette fan forums and Stampeders fan forums for always showing football game plan support.